It's bad. Anime.
Hey everybody, I'm John.
And I'm Rob.
And this is Bad Anime, the show where we decide, is this anime bad? Now today, Rob, which one are we doing?
Well, today we have a fun one and a little bit of a curiosity. I'll be honest.
I'm excited.
Well, for those of you can see in the title, today we're doing Burn Up.
Burn Up.
And that's Burn Up.
Yeah, burn up with an exclamation point. Burn up.
Yes, he has a cute little exclamation point at the end. For what I remember, this came out in 91.
Oh.
Produced by a studio.
91.
Yes.
Ah. It's a 90s anime.
Yes, it is. Yeah, this is actually, at the time of recording, I think this is probably the first 90s anime we've covered so far, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it is. Anyway,
Wow, that's exciting.
produced by Studio AIC, who also did Hikaru one. So,
Oh, yeah.
we're already in good company here.
Our goddamn boy, Hikaru.
Fucking love him. But anyway, so this is just a short little OVA that came out at the time, and it started like a small franchise that lasted up until 2004. So this anime had some longevity behind it.
Wait, so the OVA started an anime series.
It started a few different ones.
Different anime series.
Well, there was I think there was an OVA series that came after this of 4 episodes. Then there was a TV series, and then another TV series, and they came out intermittently throughout that time span I established previously. So
That's
it started
cool. It must be pretty influential then.
It
to
could
spark all
be,
those.
but here's the thing. I got the DVD, as you can see, it's an old ass case I have in my hand, and I think it was like $5 because it's only 45 minutes long. So I don't remember at all if it was any good. So I figured, why not find out today?
I guess we're gonna find out.
And I'm biased because Studio AIC, they did a Cartoon, and I just kind of love their style of animation. So even if it's not a good show, I love the way they often look.
Very cool.
So again, bias here. And if I sound a little tired, I am, because at the time of recording, I got this because this ties back to bias. We just watched Violence Jack. We're both
we are exhausted.
as the Aussies would say, we're knackered right now. We are tired,
which is funny because it's illegal in Australia.
yeah,
Violence Jack, at least.
yeah, exactly. Wow, God damn, we're better at this than I thought.
Right.
So yes, I'm a little tired, and I want to get back to my biases here because, like I said, I did not like Violence Jack because of my biases going in. This one here, I have a tiny bit of bias towards the studio. It's not really going to impact anything, but we'll see how it goes. And like I said, I'll be honest, I watched this probably, I'm going to say 2013, 2012, maybe.
Mhm.
So
Almost 10 years ago.
almost 10 years ago. So I legitimately remember nothing, no character names. I don't even remember most of what happens.
That's great. And like most things on my end, I will be going in completely cold.
Yes.
I have no idea who made this.
Yep.
I don't know why they made it. And I just plain want to see it. I'm just really excited. I have no idea what it's going to be. The cover of the DVD, first of all, it's some chick with like a fun futuristic outfit with blonde hair and a gun. And there's just a big convertible car behind her. So I'm excited to see what this is. It looks like she's some sort of police officer, but I guess we're going to find out. It says big. Well, the bottom says big crimes, big busts. So...
yeah, I'll be okay. Yes,
it should be fun.
To give our listeners some behind the scenes accents, we're gonna pull back the curtain, break kayfabe, if you will. Yeah, we kind of broke the rule of don't judge a book by its cover. So we looked at it and said, well, how good can it be? Let's just throw it in.
Let's check it out.
Might have a great time. We might have a horrible time. This is Burn Up.
Yep.
It's bad.
Don't you love it when anime can actually be fun?
That was so fun.
That
That was such a nice ride comparatively to all the stuff that we've done so far.
Right.
Like, I don't know. This was 45 minutes, and the entire time was like funny, charming, enjoyable, and a little bloody too. But
Yeah.
not over the top bloody.
No, not at all. And all the comedy elements worked. And again, we watched the dub. I always have to clarify.
Yes.
And the dub actors just pulled it off. They knew exactly what they were doing. They knew when to pull it back and be serious, but they knew when to be funny.
It was so fun. And by the end, throughout the entire thing, like I was thinking the entire time, I was like, all right, you could say any character's name. I won't remember any of the characters. And by the end of the OVA, I was like, Remy forever. Justice for Remy. I love Remy.
Remy is now in my circle of waifus. I love Remy. But
she was the best.
So I guess we should pull it back a little bit.
Take it from the top.
Take it from the top. All right. So like I said, this is Burn Up. This is actually part of a cool few different subgenres in 90s anime. This actually might be one of the earlier examples of there was a few kind of like futuristic cop OVAs that came out around this time. I can name a few off the top of my head. So that was a cool little subgenre. But also, this might be one of the founding anime of the girls with guns subgenre. That which actually was, I don't think it's not relevant now at all anymore. But it used to be a big thing, just girls with guns fucking charging
because this was the whole thing was girls with guns,
and I loved
basically,
it.
and it was really fun.
And like I said, so it's a hostage situation.
Right.
The whole police force getting alerted. We have two characters, Yuka and Remy. One the long black hair, one with cute little pink hair. They're giving someone a parking ticket, and they're like, "All right, emergency, come on!" It's like, "All right, fuck, we gotta call Maki." We cut to this blonde girl who was off duty at the time. She was going on for like a motorbike ride in this cool futuristic ass motorcycle, and they're like, Maki, we need you. Be careful, they have a hostage. Don't do anything stupid.
And she does everything stupid.
But no one dies. Well, no, not the hostage.
Well, no hostage dies, but she gets on a motorcycle, rides in, jumps a couple barricades on the highway, and just takes out a huge shotgun, just clocks one of the guys in the back seat.
Yeah, she shoots the guy who isn't driving the car, and then shoots out the hood.
The hood of the car. The car pulls over, and then she runs over, and she's like, "Oh, cool, hostage is okay." So basically, what that was.
That's how the show starts.
That's the whole starting sequence of the show, and then basically they find out like, okay, that girl was a hostage because she was going to get trafficked. And there's this guy
slavery,
named
McCoy.
Samuel McCoy.
You got the first name good on you.
Yes, who is a young girl trafficker.
He's a nightclub owner. He's a lot of connections in town. He's a very powerful man, but the real way he's making his money is trafficking all these young girls.
It really sounds like a Jeffrey Epstein kind of thing now that I'm thinking about it. And he's just like he just like kidnaps young girls and traffics them around. And so basically the entire rest of the OVA, they're trying to find this guy and find some dirt on him to like extract him for these things.
Yes, actually, and I will say this. So basically that happens and they have to investigate. So they go to one of his nightclubs to investigate. That was an experience in and of itself.
That was so weird. They get to that nightclub, right? And there are 3 levels to this nightclub. Okay? And Maki's on the first level. And by the way, the outfits were stunning.
Oh my god.
Maki was in a like a tiger print yellow thigh-high socks with like a jean jacket.
She had like a red jean jacket or leather. It was hard to tell. And then she had like pink denim shorts and like some white top. I'm like, this is an outfit. I think this woman's my spirit animal. I'm falling in love with this woman. We had Remy there with like the very dark navy. She had like the fingerless leather gloves that if you were a badass anime girl in the 90s, you had to have those. Yep. So points to Remy. Yuka, who was the pink-haired one, she had this cute little doily.
It was like a maid outfit, kind of somewhat.
Pink and blue maid outfit.
And they all show up to this club, and they get on different levels of the club, right? Maki's on like the dance level, which, let me say, the soundtrack was really good. The club music was phenomenally good.
That was really good.
Rob turned to me during that, and he was like, if clubs played this kind of music, I'd go.
Exactly. Exactly.
It was very fun. So Maki was on the club level.
Some guys tried to hit on her. She was very much not into it.
She was very not into it.
And then she turned and said to herself, how come guys don't dig me? Which, again, it's all played up for laughs, and it's great. We have Remy, who stumbles into like a costume bar area.
The most like Tatooine-esque.
That's what I said. That's what I said. Like, what the fuck? She on Tatooine?
There's all these like people just dressed up in these weird outfits.
Weird alien outfits, yeah.
And she gets in there and they all just like look around at her and they're like, oh.
And the general aesthetic actually looks a lot like Tatooine. But then Yuka's in the basement and she's in a fucking hallway that looks just like the Death Star. And I'm like, what is happening?
There's a lot of Star Wars stuff happening in this. Oh, also, I don't want us to miss this, but before they went to the club, Yuka became one of my favorite characters very early on because when they're at the police station, they're like, oh, like, so you mean so this guy, like, what, he traffics little girls? And Yuka's like, yeah, cute little ones like me. Like, we aren't safe anywhere. What do you mean? But anyways, she's traveling through this club. And long story short, Yuka is the one that gets kidnapped. So Yuka gets kidnapped and trafficked, or gets attempted to be trafficked. She gets brought back to the mansion of Mr. McCoy.
Yes.
Who keeps all of the girls in his basement.
He has this weird bunker set up with like a bathroom in it and everything. It's just like a whole with a super advanced locked door with like it looks like a safe vault basically.
Pretty much.
And yeah, he just kidnaps these girls and sells them into slavery.
That's where he just keeps them. Yeah, that's what he does.
And the whole climax of this thing plays out a lot like Beverly Hills Cop of all things. It's honestly like, and
I was wondering what you were thinking of because you were like, this is making me think of something so well, and I forget what it is. And like you were like, I'm gonna save it, but I know this makes me think of something.
yeah, no, it was totally similar to Beverly Hills Cop because it's the same scenario where in Beverly Hills Cop it was I forget it. I think she was also in the force, but Eddie Murphy and a girl bust the villain. The villain finds out. Basically, they kidnap the girl. They think they killed Eddie Murphy, but they didn't. He got away. Then Murphy and his two partners storm this guy's mansion, even though they have no evidence. And it was the same scenario where it's a rich, powerful man in town. We know he's a criminal, but we just don't have the hard proof. And Eddie Murphy's like, "Yeah, no, my friend's kidnapped." He brings his two partners, and they get back up because they're like, "Yeah, they're shooting at cops." Like, now we have to go in.
Yep.
And the climax of this plays out the same way, where Yuka and Remy, sorry, not Yuka.
Oh,
and Remy.
Maki. Yeah, Maki and Remy.
Maki and Remy charging, guns ablazing, going, you know what? Fuck them. We're getting Yuka back. But beforehand, they have to get the guns. And I just, it's a great scene where like there's this old dude in the dub. You know, it probably translates a little better in Japanese, but it was still great in the dub. Where Maki just goes, "Hey, old man, we need some guns." And he's like, "God damn, Maki, I don't care if you're the hottest thing to ever walk on this force. I'm not giving you guns. And by the way, don't call me old man." There's so many great little moments like that I don't want to get into too much because they're honestly more fun to experience.
Yes.
But
yeah, they get the guns. They get the big old guns. And
hence the name of the genre, Girls with Guns.
Yes, Girls with Guns.
They come in guns a-blazing. Well, no, they send a great they do a diversionary tactic because they have these police tanks, which is established in the world that police officers just
have mobile tanks.
Yes.
That they can roam the streets with. So they use one of those mobile tanks and drive it away and put it on autopilot
which it has.
Of the McCoy mansion, which it has autopilot.
Yeah.
And it just goes on autopilot and just crashes through the entire mansion.
It's insane.
And while all of McCoy's henchmen are like worried about that, the two girls, Maki and Remy, sneak on in. And then hilarity ensues.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's funny because you think with that premise, you think it'd be action oriented, but it's actually really a comedy driven series with a lot of cool action in it.
So first, they get down to the basement and they find the girls.
Oh yeah, they find Yuka.
And Remy uses this piece of technology that attaches to the code on the door and like unlocks.
Yeah, trust me, guys, it's way better when you see the events in order.
Yes.
So he has, like you said, like she has this like this device that you attach to a lock and then it analyzes it's like electronic finger punch lock. You know, like the code lock. You know, the ones 3334 whatever. So it analyzes it and cracks the code for you. She has a device and she like loves it.
And all the girls they rescue all the girls. And then they bring them all.
Continues.
And then they bring all the girls outside, and they're like, "Wait here." And it's like,
yeah, that was the one scene where we both were like, "Wait a minute, you're gonna leave them behind?
What are you doing?" And like in their benefit, the SWAT team was on their way because the SWAT team heard that they cops were in a conflict, obviously.
So they showed up. Yeah.
So they showed up. But then after that, Remy and Maki are walking through the mansion, and they get shot at. And one of the bullets hits Remy's thigh.
Yes.
And which we're like, "Oh no, did she get shot?" Oh
yeah,
no.
we were both concerned.
And she crawls up into a ball in a corner behind a door, and Maki's like, "Oh no, Remy, are you okay?"
And we both thought, as viewers, we're both like, "Wait, is she okay?"
And Remy pulls out the device that she used to unlock that big door down there, and it has a bullet in it. So it got shot. Her thigh was not shot, but for some reason that got her so mad because she loves that device.
And
so she just turns around.
You son of a bitch!
Just machine guns this guy to absolute smithereens.
It was basically the same scene in Spaceballs where they shot the princess's hair. It's like, "You shot my hair, son of a bitch!" And just unloading all the Spaceballs. It reminded me very much of that.
Yes.
It scratched all the same itches.
It was so
funny. There was extra bonus nostalgia points there. And even well after this guy died, and you can see the blood flying off of him.
Oh yeah,
she kept firing. And then launched a grenade.
Because she was like, the guy was not even on the roof. And the guy had already fell and died.
Exactly.
And Maki was like, "All right, let's go." And Remy was like, "One more thing." And she shoots a grenade.
I mean, she shot a grenade.
It was just so funny. And at that moment, we both realized Remy was the best character.
Oh, yeah, no. She, like I said, she's now in the circle of my waifus. I mean, she'll have to come up now in the conversation.
Circle of wife.
Ooze. Just make it very sad at the end. But yeah, and then eventually they get confronted by McCoy. You think they're fucked, but the next thing you know, the SWAT team arrives right in the nick of time.
Yep.
And the best was the ending line, which...
So Okay, Maki and Remy, they be down bad. They just got gunned down by McCoy's men. There was no blood, so I'm guessing that it must have been like bulletproof things.
Yeah, they
on
had
them.
bulletproof equipment, but like if you're wearing bulletproof stuff, it'll hurt.
Yeah,
You break your bones. Yeah.
and they got gunned down quite a bit by McCoy's men, and like the doors like shut down and everything.
Yeah, there's they had like these falling electronic doors.
Yep, that shut down all around them to like lock them in.
The barricades. Yeah.
And McCoy's men are just like having a field day and like kicking them around. They're like, "Yeah, you thought you could do shit. You can't, women." And then the SWAT team breaks in finally.
Yeah.
And just like kills all those guys.
Tears house. They just go and wreck shit up.
And then I guess Maki's boyfriend. He's like a guy that Maki's like dating. On the force, he comes in and he's like,
it was a
subplot that we didn't really care about.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's like, whatever. Samuel McCoy, you're under arrest for human trafficking and like attempted murder. And they arrest him, and then the camera just pans to Maki, who ends the show.
What was the line again? What was the exact verbiage? It was like,
I was gonna throw it to you.
What was the exact verbiage? I blanked on the verbiage.
I think it's like. And that's all.
Well, no, I think it was, well, that's that. Was that it?
Yeah, well.
Yeah, sorry.
It zooms in on her, and she's like, well, that's that. And the OVA promptly ends.
And then it cuts to the ending. And then we get a cool little countdown clock. The ending theme plays. It's a banger of an ending theme. And the show's over. Well, that's that. Thank you for reminding me.
Well, that's that.
Yeah. And then, well, that's that. I'm like, the fuck?
So that's just it. Which, I mean, makes sense for a 45-minute OVA, but at the same time, it was such a sudden ending. But the whole thing was just so funny.
Well, no, but that's the ending was great because it was a great comedic ending where it just stopped. And it's funny. It's funny because like when you look at the box art for this again, this is why I'm so glad we judged the book by its cover because I think we got the entire wrong idea. Because like I said, I watched this years ago and I didn't remember any of it. All I remembered was pink hair girl gets kidnapped. That's legitimately all I remembered. But when you look at the front of the box, it presents like action-oriented, sexy, yeah.
Yeah,
you think it's gonna be a little
sexy, hot cop.
You think it's gonna be a little like sleazier, a little more aggressive, but it was really a comedy.
No, it was very much like a comedy with some romantic tendencies.
A little bit, barely any. The biggest subgenre was the action.
Yeah,
it was a romantic action. Sorry, no, it was a comedic action film. It was a comedic action film, and
it was more of like a buddy cop film than anything else.
Yeah, it was more of a buddy cop.
It was really fun. I just enjoyed it a lot.
That's the thing. It's so refreshing because so far we covered stuff with, darker overtones and a lot of violence. We also
just watched Violence Jack before this, so this is a fun refresher for us.
Yeah, so I'm coming in hot off that.
Yeah, it feels good. I'm burning up,
hot.
Baby.
Burn up, baby!
Woohoo!
Yeah, crisp,
crispy.
But yeah, it's funny. We already discussed pretty much the entire plot, but I gotta say, I gotta shout out to AIC again because the show just looks cool.
It looks great.
They had just a lot of cool design choices. I loved the futuristic cityscape, the design, the sound design wise and the music wise, very indicative of the time. I'm gonna be biased here again because that '80s soundtrack, I fucking love it.
Yes,
'80s. I guess you call it Japanese.
The soundtrack was also great. It very very cool like lead guitar driven.
Yes.
Lines. It was very like looped, but at the same time, it was just so fun. It was so like crisp and good and like, really edgy.
And it matched the tone perfectly.
Yes.
Because like the music was fun. Yeah, it didn't try to make things more intense than it needed to be. It just made the music was fun as the visuals on screen.
Yes. It was a very fun, lighthearted show. The only thing that wasn't lighthearted was that the fact that it was like sex trafficking. But like other than that,
there was one or two scenes where there was a little bit of tonal whiplash. If I had to give an honest critique about the show, I will say the whiplash felt a little weird someplace.
Yeah, like what is this? What is happening here?
Yeah, human trafficking,
like,
selling
when did that happen?
Selling young girls off. Really, that's the route we're going.
Yeah.
So I completely understand that.
I mean, I feel like it would have tonally fit more if it was like drug trafficking or something like that.
You could have easily done drugs.
Yeah, it could have been something like that. I mean, I just didn't see the need to. I mean, I guess like in order for Yuka to get kidnapped, maybe that had to be some sort of trafficking thing. But
but
at the same time, it's like it was a bit of a stretch. But at the same time, everything worked. Everything really worked.
It really worked for me. I am pleasantly surprised by this. I really am. Because Girls with Guns, it's a genre that gets. I guess when I think about it now, it must have got a lot of hate because it's not around anymore.
Yeah. No.
It just doesn't currently exist, which is weird. It's a dead genre, unlike mecha that's slowly dying. I think Girls and Guns completely faded, but I mean, this might be an ambassador in the genre in some ways, playing up the kind of sillier aspects. Like, yeah, it's a bunch of hot girls running with guns, but instead of the show trying to be sexy about it, there's like, yeah, we're here to have fun.
Yeah, we're just gonna have a good time.
Yeah, they're here to, and they know the premise is silly, and they're running with it, which is what I love. I love it's self-aware in the good way because it's not rolling its eyes. It's not trying to be ironic. It's just trying to be lighthearted.
It just wants to have a good time. It's just
Exactly.
like, oh, here's a bunch of characters that are fun, having a good time,
That's the thing,
and doing what they want to do.
Yeah,
and
these characters could have been dudes, and it would have worked just as well.
Oh yeah,
because these are just
definitely.
well-written characters,
Mhm.
which is really endearing.
Yeah.
So as you can,
And out of 45 minutes, I'm very surprised that I was able to get attached to the
that's the
characters.
thing. I'm so happy that I was able to get engaged in the characters, and I'm fascinated by the world. I like this kind of futuristic Tokyo setup. Like I said, there was a lot. I guess people could say it's like it was very much of the time because, like I said, there was a few future cop shows around the time. We might get into more of those because there's a few of them I haven't watched, and now I want to watch a lot more. So it may have been a little bit of its time, maybe a little generic by some standards, but maybe my view on it will change when I watch more of the genre. But right now, I had a great time.
Yeah. Which brings us to our final bit of the day.
Are we here for the question?
We are here for the question. Rob, was this anime bad?
This was not bad. Not by a long shot was this bad. No, sir.
Nope. Would you then recommend it to somebody?
I would totally recommend it to somebody.
Yes.
If it's easily available, I would recommend it. I would easily recommend it. It's 45 minutes. You get some cool cityscapes. You get some cool fight scenes, and you get some characters who are funny. And for 45 minutes, there's a lot of. I mean, if you have 45 minutes to kill, absolutely.
Yeah. And I also think like this was by no stretch bad. Not bad, and it was good. It was good.
Wait, is this the first time ever? Did we fuck up?
I think we fucked up.
We fucked up.
I think we fucked up. It's a good anime.
It's good.
It's a good anime.
Guys, oh my god,
And
we
I think
found it. Oh my god.
Our first good anime. And I think I would actually recommend it to people. I think it's really fun. It's a 40 as you said, it's a 45-minute watch. It's very lighthearted. It's a good time. Whether you watch the dub or the sub, get into it. I thought the dub was honestly hilarious.
The dub knew what it was doing.
It was weird. At first it was a bit shaky because I was thinking like, okay, like the voices aren't exactly like working too well, but give it time.
It's funny because a few characters have a nice little southern drawl to them.
It is very intriguing.
And there's like at least 2 or 3 characters who had a nice little southern drawl, which is a
Yeah.
nice surprise. I just wasn't expecting that at all.
But in general, like, it's good. It's good. It's fun. I had a great time watching it.
Well, I think we have to cheers to that because
Cheers.
we've accidentally found our first good anime. What a ride.
Well, thanks for joining, everybody.
Thanks for joining on Bad Anime.
If you got a chance to watch it, definitely check it out.
Check it out.
Burn up 45 minutes.
Yeah.
You will not regret the time you spend on
it's
it.
the original Burn Up. The original DVD was released by Sentai Filmworks. There might be a more recent release. I will check on that soon to see if there was. But anyway, check it out. If you like anime, and if you're like my friend here who's used to the shonen genre and need something outside of it, watch Burn Up. It's a great little gateway.
Check it out.
It's like trying a new cocktail.
Yum. Cocktails.
It's bad.
Wow, oh my god, what a rousing podcast of anime conversation. Am I right, my compares? Am I right, my weebdom? Anywho, yeah, you can send us a message if you want. Did you like this podcast? Did you hate this podcast? Do you want to kill me? Do you want to drench me in Calaxosaur blood and watch me drink it? That's fine. Just send us an email at badanimepod@gmail.com or DM us on our Instagram at badanimepod, all one word. You can also find us on YouTube as Bad Anime, and you can leave a comment on whatever video you want to leave a comment on. We'll read them all anyways. We don't care. I love you. Kiss, kiss.
In your ear. Podcast Network.